I'd like to recognize Representative McBride of Delaware.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to you and Ranking Member Lofgren for holding this hearing, and thank you, Mr. Secretary, for joining us. In the last few months, President Trump has given the world a masterclass on what energy insecurity looks like. President Trump's war in Iran has shown us that energy security cannot mean dependence on a single fuel source. It cannot mean dependence on one supply chain, and it cannot mean dependence on one region of the world. It seems every other country is learning that lesson except for us. In January, at the World Economic Forum, President Trump told the world that he hasn't, quote, been able to find any wind farms in China, and said China sells wind turbines to, quote, the stupid people that buy them, but they don't use them themselves. Secretary Wright, have you or anyone in your department been able to find any wind turbines in China?
We haven't looked.
You haven't looked. Well, it seems like the president apparently has explored all 3.6 million square miles of China and apparently declared at Davos that China isn't using any wind turbines. As I mentioned, the president said that stupid people buy them. You've articulated increasing the energy supply here in the United States and our energy exports. I assume that includes wind from your perspective, yes?
For all energy sources that are affordable, reliable, and secure. To me, it's just about math. I don't have a technology I love and a technology I hate. It's just about the math.
So does that include wind?
Its contribution to date so far has not been so good, but are there going to be areas or applications where wind makes sense? I suspect there are. Okay. We just wanted to get rid of the subsidies and get rid of the tilted playing field. But energy sources that can compete economically and can better human lives, I'm for all of those.
So I'll take that as you believe that wind should be part of our portfolio.
Again, it's about that. We've only seen wind where it was subsidized and it was mandated. So we've forced a lot of wind power to be built in the United States. Its net impact has been upward on electricity prices because it's not dispatchable. It's just when you get a cold front that sits there, the wind doesn't blow. If you're not there at peak demand, you don't matter to our electricity grid.
So on that note then, do you believe that the United States should not be playing in the global renewable marketplace when it comes to wind then? China is. Other countries seem to be buying. Whether you think or the president thinks those countries are stupid, they're buying from China. Do you think we should be selling wind turbines to other countries too, producing them here and selling them to other countries?
I'm for growing American industry and businesses, but you're talking a lot about wind. Let's just give the numbers real quick. Wind is 1.5% of global energy, and if you look at the nations that have been big in wind, they lead the world in the most expensive electricity prices, which is all the nations of Northwest Europe. They're the wind powerhouses. They have the most expensive electricity on the planet.
Well, the president himself complained about other countries buying wind from China. He called them stupid, but he admitted they are buying wind from China. So do you think we should cede this marketplace to China?
I don't believe we should cede any marketplaces to China.
Okay, well, unfortunately, your actions, the actions of this administration, are undermining our capacity to compete with China in this marketplace. You've not only cut hundreds of clean energy projects, you've also eliminated the very incentives that help to spur this industry here in the United States that would allow us to compete with China. So why are you letting China win in this global economic battle?
She said remove the incentives. So 34 years of subsidy for wind weren't enough to get an infant industry off its feet and going? The 34 years, to me, if you can't compete without subsidies after 34 years, your industry doesn't work.
Let's be clear. You're not opposed to subsidies for energy producers. You're just opposed to subsidies for renewable energy producers because the fossil fuel industry gets a ton of money from our government.
It does not. Please tell me what those subsidies are. I'm not aware of them.
They are getting a ton of investments. They're getting a ton of tax incentives. They're getting a ton of breaks. They are getting a windfall. The executives are getting a windfall while the American people pay the price right now with the increase in gas prices. There are a ton of policies. There is a ton of funding. There is a ton of tax incentives that are going to fossil fuel companies. And so you are fine.
It's actually not true.
You are fine. That is
Tell me what they are.
True.
Tell me what they are.
There are absolutely.
What
true.
are they?
you are the one answering questions here. You know for a fact that there are tax incentives that are going to fossil fuel companies. You know for a fact that that industry has been subsidized in the past and today by this government, by the actions of our government. You just don't want the renewable energy industry to get the same opportunities as the fossil fuel industry. You're playing winners and losers, and you're picking winners and losers.
Time's expired.
Thank you.
Time's expired.